Hello guys. Today we will learn about like how to deal with the input box, checkbox, radio button, and also the drop downs. Okay. So last class we have learned like how like what are the different types of built-in locators that we have in Playwright, and today we will learn like how to deal with input box. Anyway, we have already learned like how to deal with input box, so we'll just verify how to do the assertion over here. Okay, so let's create a new file. We will say mm, element, or you can say UI action dot spec dot js. Okay, so we'll do one thing. We will copy up to this just to save the time. We will close the bracket. Okay, so we'll say how to deal with you can say the input box, checkbox, radio button, and static uh, drop down, you can say. Okay, drop down. Great. Okay, so for this we will take one more new URL where you can see input box is there, this mm, radio button is there, then there is a drop down, and you can see there is a checkbox, and also there is a button is there. So how we can verify using this? Let's check. Let's go to the VS Code. The first line is page dot go to. Here you have to pass the URL name, that is this one. Page URL is already done. So the next step is you can say open the URL. The next one is we have to search. You have also have to add await over here. Don't forget to add await in every sentence. So the first line is, so this is the username field. I'll just inspect the element. You can see, is there any unique ID is there? Yes, unique ID is there. Username. Okay. So we will add await page dot locator. You can add the CSS, that is hash username. Okay, that is username, right? Username. Okay, hash username, as we are taking the ID, so that's the reason we are adding the hash over here. Page dot locator, and for dealing with inputs you have to add fill method, and here suppose you are writing admin. Okay, so now sometimes we also want to add the verification, like what exactly we have fill the value inside the input box. We also have to verify whether the admin text only got added into the input. So if you have this kind of verification, to do that you can do one thing. You have done the fill, and what you can do, you can use a method. So first of all, I will do one thing. I will create one variable, that constant uh, input data. Okay, username data, you can say. Okay, username data. Okay, so here what I'll do, await, because this is the username CSS, await page dot locator. Here, last class you must have seen I've used one method called text content. Okay, I've used text content. So this is used to fetch the text which is present inside it, inside the DOM. Okay, so let's check whether it will print or not, and if not, then why I will check. I'll see username, username data. Okay, so this is I'm printing. Okay, So one more, I will print console dot log. I will print hello world. Why I printed this one, I'll let you know. And also, I will add await over here. Otherwise, it will execute as the JavaScript execution is asynchronous. So we don't know it will execute, and this if this line will not execute this ninth line, and all of a sudden it will execute the 11th line and it will not get any data. Okay, so npx playwright test. What is the file name? UI controls. UI, sorry, UI action dot spec dot js hyphen hyphen headed. Great. So let's check whether it will print the value or not. Okay. So it should print hello name and admin because we have given the admin as the input, the data in the input field. So it will open and it will pass the admin value over here. Let's check. It and actually playwright execution will not this much of slow. It should be fast because of the slow in internet. It is behaving like slow. Otherwise, the execution is damn fast. Okay. So it's open the execution. It should pass the admin value. Why it's not working? Let's check. I think it will fail because this should not take this much of time. Whether we have done something wrong. Yeah, if this test has got failed, why it got failed? Page.go to is working fine. Page.locate a username. Why the it'll test timeout for 40,000 millisecond exceeded. Navigate to the practice waiting until load. Why this is taking this much of time? Okay, whether this is not working, this URL, this is working, right? So okay, let's execute again. npx playwright UI action dot spec dot js. Okay, it's opened. Okay, great. See it open that URL and see hello world is printed, but the username that is we passed as admin that is not printed. Why? Because text content will not work if it's not a see text content is all will always fetch the data which is already present in the DOM. So whenever you open any browser, if any text is already present when you open that particular browser or web page, then only it will fetch the text content. But whenever you are entering some data, some value during the runtime or while via the programming, it will not able to fetch the data from the web page. So in that case, there is a new method is there that is called input value will work. Always remember, okay, input value. So this only work. So that is the only reason why, because first we have like tried with the text content. So this is the basic difference between text content and input value. Text content will always fetch the data which is already attached to the DOM while the execution, but input value will always fetch the data whatever you have filled during the runtime. See, admin and hello world got printed. Okay, so I will just remove this hello world. That is the reason I printed the hello world over here. Okay, so this is how you can input, like give some value to the input field, and you can verify whether the value got like you have successfully entered into that value or not. Okay, so the next one is radio button. Okay, so you can see the radio button admin is there. So what I'll do, I will just find the CSS of that value. Okay, let's check what is that admin check mark. Okay, okay, what we'll do, I will see the check mark. Okay, so I will find the xpath span, and as it is a class name, I will write class equal to check mark. So it's the, you can see there are one out of two. That means we have two radio button, and for both the thing it is like giving the like you, it's having the same CSS and CSS same XPath. Okay, so let's do one thing. We'll learn one more method over here. So whenever you have this much this problem, you can do one thing. I will take this CSS. Okay, I will write await page dot locator. I will add the CSS. We'll add double quote, and inside that we'll use single quote. Okay, spin await page dot locator dot first dot click. And in that case, if you want to click the user, then in case of use first or last. Okay, so that also you can do. If you want to click the last one, you can, instead of first, you can last. Okay, so there is no method called medium and vagera. So, and one more method Playwright does have, I'll explain you. You can use also that dot nth dot nth, and here you can pass 0, 1, 2, 3. Likewise, so it will work. Okay, so as my CSS is giving 1 out of 2, so for the admin it is 1, and for it's using its second one is for user. So I'll click on the admin. So I'll do one thing. I will click on that and I'll verify whether it is clicked or not. Okay, so as it is giving two instances for me, so I can use dot first method. And if you have 2 3 value, and if you want to click the last one, you can use last. Okay, and if you have, if you, there is another method is also present over here, by using which you can able to click on the specific like element. Okay, that also you can do. So I will just comment out the code. So here it will click it will click the radio button. So we know that it is clicked, but how I will verify that it is clicked or not? So that also will verify. See, I will do one thing. I will add await expect. I will do one thing. I will page dot first. I will take this much of code and I will check to be checked. Okay, so this is how we can verify whether the particular radio button is clicked or not. Okay, so you have clicked the radio button and you are just verifying whether the radio button is clicked or not. Okay, and if it will fail, then obviously it will give you the fail. Okay, one passed, so that means it's successfully verified. Okay, then what next? The radio what next? Radio student. Okay, that is a drop down. How to deal with the drop down? Let's see. So first of all, I will just see the I'll inspect that particular drop down. So you can see it's a select drop down. Okay, so we also have some multiple types of drop down, like bootstrap drop down, multi select drop down, that we'll learn in the next class. So as of now, it is a static drop down. Okay, so static drop down means whenever you see any kind of select drop down, you can see option and value. That's for sure. Whenever you will say you will see any kind of static drop down, you have to see this option value equal to stud and the value student, which is present inside a drop down, and it will be present inside the option tag. Okay, so to deal with this kind of value, you can see, you can do one thing. You have to find the X path of that. So what is that? Form control. Okay, this is the you can say CSS. Okay, this is the class name. Okay, so I will do select dot, as it is that is a class name, so that is select dot form control. So why I have taken the form control? Because whenever you have any drop down and that is present under the, that is having an attribute called class, like for id we will add the hash, And for class, we can add the dot, select dot form control. So this I'll select. I will do one thing, await page dot locator, and I will add the specific CSS, that is select dot form control dot select option. Here, here there is a trick. You have to pass the value of, not the value. You have to pass. Suppose I'll print the teacher, then you have to pass the value, that is teach. Okay, that is, you have to teach. You don't need to. You will not pass the exact value. You have to pass the value, that is a teach. That is a value. Okay. So likewise, you can select, and if you want to see, verify, then you can do. You can, if you want to verify whether that particular teach is selected or not, then you can write await expect this dot to have value, to have value. Okay, what is that? Teach. Likewise, you can verify whether the particular value that you have selected, that is successfully selected or not. Okay, so let's check whether it's working or not. So it will print the admin, and it will select the admin. It will just verify whether the radio button is selected or not. After that, it will see it got passed. So if you want to check whether that particular, like this is like the execution is very fast. If you want to see, then one thing you can write, await page dot pause. This you can write so that it will open the playwright inspector, and you can see whether it has successfully selected the teacher option from the drop down or not. See, the execution started, the page dot pause will execute and it will pause the execution. See, the playwright inspector got opened, and you can see it selected the admin, press the select, enter the admin value, selected the admin, and selected the teacher from drop down. So by using this await page dot pause, you can see, because the execution sometimes very fast. If you have a good internet connection, then the execution will be very fast that you cannot see anything. So to overcome that, you can use this page dot pause, and after that you can execute. Click on the button, and it will do the rest of the execution. Okay, that's great. Okay, after that we have a checkbox. Okay, this is checkbox. So checkbox, I will just click on that. What is, there is a name called terms, and ID is also terms. So as it is ID, then I will check whether using hash is working fine. Yeah, it's got 1 of 1. Okay, so we will do one thing. You can use this terms to find the, click on the checkbox. I will write await page dot locator, and I will use hash terms dot click. Okay, dot click. So if you want to check whether that is clicked or not, that is also the same way that we have to write to be checked. Okay, so here you have to give page dot locator hash terms, and you can do that. Okay, page dot terms, and here we don't need to pass the first value. Okay, so I'm verifying after clicking on the checkbox what exactly we have done. So this is click on checkbox. Okay, so this is selecting value from drop down. Okay, and this is what we have done. Click on radio button. Okay, and this we have enter value for input box. Okay, okay, done. So this is a click on checkbox. That this is how we can verify, and we have checked it. Okay, so if you want to again uncheck it, you can write there is a method called uncheck. By using this, you can uncheck that value. See, we will do one thing. First, we'll do one thing. We will here page dot pause. We'll execute it. Okay, and we will just comment the rest of the code. Okay, we'll just verify whether it is clicked or not. The check. I will check only the checkbox. Okay, and we have added this page dot pause, and just to verify whether it is clicking on the checkbox or not by using the page dot pause concept. Let's open this and it should click on the checkbox. Okay, why it's not it's passed, but it why it not? Okay, we have not added the await page dot pause. Okay, that's why the problem occurred. Don't forget to add the await option before each and every code in Playwright, otherwise you'll face this kind of problem. Okay, let's check whether, yes, see, it clicked on the checkbox. Okay, after that, uncheck. It also done the uncheck. Okay, so you can see, right, it is already unchecked. Okay, so I will execute and I will close the rest of the execution. But here, if it is unchecked, so there is no button called as to be unchecked. So if you want to see, there is no such method in Playwright by using which we can check to be unchecked. See, there is no method. So to check this kind of thing, there is another way is there. So you can do one await expect dot page dot locator hash terms dot is checked. So it will return actually a boolean value. See, returns whether the element is checked, throws the element is not a checked or radio button. Note if you need to assert the checkbox is checked. That means it is used to, it will return 0 or 1. After that, you want to put that verification. If it is 0, then it is unchecked. If it is unchecked, then it will return 1. So to overcome that, to check whether it is successfully unchecked or not, so you have to verify. So right now, after clicking the uncheck, so that is unchecked, right? So each checked is a method will return boolean value. So it will return false. So to be falsy. So likewise, you can verify after uncheck. And if you want to verify the truth, the whether it's checked or not, then to be truthy. Okay. So in this case, it should give us a falsy, to be falsy. Okay. So let's check whether it is successfully. We are we forgot to uh, remove that page dot pause. We'll just verify whether it is successfully checked, and after that it got unchecked, and after that it is verifying with the to be falsy method not. So these are the way that by using which you can able to verify different input box, radio button, static drop down, checkbox or not. So it got failed. Why it got failed? To be falsy. Okay, so what happened? It's unchecked. We have already done the uncheck, right? It's unchecked. We have done the uncheck. Is checked. What happened? Okay, let's check the report. Why it got failed? Expected receipt to be falsy. Okay, did we forget to add an? Okay, await is not there. Await. Okay, great. So always don't forget to add the because it's not truth, like it's not, the checkbox is not yet selected, but whenever the execution started, suddenly it executed the last line and it told that the it's already checked. So let's check. See, this time got passed. So in the first time when the test case got failed, why it's got failed, you know? So as soon as test case execution started, so as the JavaScript execution is asynchronous, so all of a sudden it executed this line. As soon as it got checked, it clicked the checkbox, it verified that it's checked or not, and it returned to be truthy, and the test case got failed. So that is the reason, don't forget to add await so that every line will execute. After that only the next line will execute. Okay, so these are the things that we learned as part of this session. Okay, so one thing I will also cover as part of this session, that is, I'll tell you, see what happened. Suppose you have a page dot locator over here. So what you can do, you can copy this and you can write constant username field equal to, you can put like this, and instead of this long thing, you can write username dot fill. Likewise, also you can write learn. See what I've done. I've taken a variable, constant variable, and I have pasted page dot locator hash username. Likewise, I will also keep one more thing so that you can learn. This is check. This is radio button, right? So what I'll do, I'll close this, and I will create one more variable over here under this await. Sorry, constant. No, no, no. What I've done, sorry, I'm doing wrong thing. Okay, so I've I'm taking this one and I will create a new variable const radio button equal to this, and instead of that you can use simply radio button. Where is that value? Did I missed anywhere? Page dot locate. You can write, instead of the long line, you can radio button dot first thing. So likewise you can also write, you can keep it in a variable and use that specific variable. You can also do in this way. Okay, you can also try by this. Okay, so this is it for today's video. We'll meet in the next video with a new topic. Till then, thank you, goodbye. Don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you.